everybody. Welcome back to the EnCharge Show. I'm Tara Brewster, Alfonso Santinello, and Mike Connolly. We are, of course, in the Ludlow Community Television set in Ludlow, Massachusetts, our new home. We're very excited about this. It's our second episode here, and we're roaring and ready to go.
Can I just say your hair kind of matches the nice light that we have?
Thank you, thank you. I planned that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for noticing. You know, I am in fashion, and you know we have to pay attention to these things. So thank you very much.
No problem.
This show we're going to talk about EnNews, EnStart, and then again the Entrepreneur of the Week. I get to start off with a little bit of EnNews. And what we're going to talk about for EnNews is the .xxx porno sites that have recently come on. The XXX domain names. A lot of controversy has sort of come up because in the past couple months these have been released and people have been purchasing them. Technically they're for, you know, supposed porn, adult entertainment sites. But just like what happened with .com, .net, you know, a lot of the people are buying up the domain names in hopes that, you know, people will come to them and buy the name for more or whatever. Well, you know, I kind of wanted to start the conversation about what happens if, you know, someone takes your name. What happens if someone takes your business name? I mean, is there like copyright infringement there? Is it a right or a privilege? I mean, you know, how much would you pay to get your name back? You know,
there's a lot that goes into that because, and related to the article with an entrepreneur and a famous entrepreneur at that, when we get into it, it's the name is the brand. So, you know, if we're going in, each one of our individual businesses is completely different. Someone takes the XXX name, it's like, well, that's going to change the way people perceive the name of the business. You know, your name of the business has 2 million names in it.
Right.
Add the XXX, something completely different.
Right.
Yours, your title's Snicky Cakes. Add XXX to the end of it. I don't even want to know what people are going to think.
Right.
And then with mine, luckily, I mean, it's creative strategy agency, but I don't know. I don't know what the XXX. If someone decides, I don't even think I want to buy that just because that just kind of weirds me out. But if someone does, what kind of creative strategy are you going to use for XXX? Or you know, it's like.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that, you know, the article was pertaining to someone actually buying the name Richard Branson.
Yes.
And it was Richard Branson XXX. Now, you know, I mean, how does this happen? How does this even happen?
I still think it's funny. The guy has so much money.
Yeah. I mean, you own Virgin. You're like a gajillionaire. You're like now planning to like have like hotels in space or galactic rides to the stratosphere of
Word of the week,
the
galactic.
ozone. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's like, how does this even happen to you? Like, you must have, you know, 50 people trying to maintain your name and your brand and all of this stuff. And so, how does it not come up like, oh, these got released this week, we should just buy it, so no one else buys it to try and blackmail us for money?
Yeah,
I think it gets. I think with brands, it's easier to fight that, especially if you trademark. But with a name, he's not the only Richard Branson on earth. So, I mean, on a business standpoint, if they're smart, they'll keep it and hire someone that looks like Richard Branson. Really,
oh, God.
I mean, there's a lot you can do with it. This is why you have to do damage control, and you're right. So Branson should have had his people, you know, on top of that. That's something that shouldn't even happen because you know immediately. Like, for example, no one's really trying to get our domain names because, first of all, I'm not paying you. Second of all, I don't, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But for someone like that whose name is his brand, that's very important. I'm not a brand, you're not a brand, you're not a brand per se as a person. But that's like Oprah.xxx. I'm sure Oprah already took care of that, you know. And if not,
she's a smart
businesswoman.
Oprah's
smart.
Oprah's Oprah.
Oprah is the smart.
You know what I mean? But it's those type things, like when your name is the brand, you have to stay on top of it. You can't even, you know.
Set up Google Alerts. I mean, come on. Like,
yeah.
It's just, I heard the XXX domain names aren't as successful as they anticipated, but the person that bought richardbranson.xxx there's no way to find out who it is.
Right.
Because the whole system is so new that they don't track it yet. Because you can find out, whoownsit.com or to find out who owns a URL that you're looking for. Because a lot of people do buy URLs and just hold on to it to resell. they can't find out because the XXX came out when, like 2 months ago maybe?
Yeah, December, yeah.
And there are people that are just buying up domain names but not using them. So now it's at the point where I don't know what's going to happen. Branson wants to do legal action, but there's no legal action to do it upon anyone because they don't know who it is. So it's causing this big stir.
Well, I mean, that's a whole business in itself, domain squatting, because it's valuable. Like, I remember, I think it was either sex.com or XXX.com or something like that. That domain name was worth, I think it was like $4 million, something crazy like that. And I mean, how much does it cost to register a domain name? So I like.
Actually, they're going up in prices now.
Right, I saw
January 25th, the domains they're going from like 10 to like 12 or 13 bucks a piece now. It's insane.
But if you think about it, even if it's $20 and you could get a $1 million payday, you know. I love buying domain names just because my brain's creative, and sometimes I come up with these crazy domain names, and it's like, wait a minute, I wonder if someone's got that.
How could I turn that into a business?
Exactly. So I get it. And even when I started Stinky Cakes, I think my name is great for what we do. But if I didn't have that domain name, I would have had to do something different. But and there's so many domain names that are bought. But when you're coming from a creative space, it's easy for you to get those domain names because no one else, who was thinking to use StinkyCakes.com?
Yeah.
And then the value of those domain names go up. And this made me think of another thing, because not only do I own StinkyCakes.com, I own StinkyCake.com and a couple other related URLs that I have all linked back to my site. Because what happens is misspellings.
Yep.
I remember back a while ago, WWF was fighting some kid that had the World Wrestling Federation was fighting against.
Oh yeah, brother.
What? Macho Man?
Oh my God, Macho Man.
Oh man.
Have you ever seen those? Oh, sorry.
I was actually never into wrestling.
Are you kidding?
No, but what it was, they had to pay this kid for that domain name, and this was like in the late '90s before everyone was domain name crazy. But
that's what I did with
big business
for the business channel. I bought business channel, thebusinesschannel.com, .tv, .info, everything, all different spellings because the way we spell Businews, it's busy news, biz news, bizit news. Like people just say so many different ways. I had to think if someone's gonna, business becomes a multi-million-dollar company.
When it does.
When it does. Who is gonna want to buy a domain that's similar to it and then change it to something different and then tarnish the brand like that person's doing with Richard Branson?
I think GoDaddy should have been the sponsor for this segment right here because we're all domain naming. GoDaddy. Next time.
All right?
Yeah.
Good? All right, so XXX. Get yours while you can. Moving right along.
.com.
Yeah, next.
This is XXX.com. So the next is EnCharge.
That's me.
Yeah.
So what we did here was, and I'm looking at a different segment, but it was 11 businesses you could start in your pajamas. I thought that was cool. I think Inc. magazine comes with the coolest titles ever.
They're catchy. They want
you have to click it.
With social media, you have to come up with catchy titles for people to click on the link. If they're not catchy, they don't read it. Then end of.
And the pictures are always good too. I'm a big visual person, so I liked how they had.
So you like pictures and no words.
Some words, just 5 words. Small amounts.
Well, the reason we like this one is because first of all they featured someone from Western Mass.
Yeah, there's a Western Mass person featured in this.
Shel Horowitz.
Yeah.
And he did what? He was a marketing company.
Green Marketing.
Yeah, Green Marketing.
But yeah, I just what I liked about it kind of help you understand because some people think in order to start a business, well, I have to have a building and where I'm gonna do this and where I'm gonna do that, and no, just start. The world's different. If you look, so many bigger companies are downsizing. They're closing locations because now they're realizing that, hey, everything's online. I watched a video. This guy, his name is Grant Cardone. He did a video where he walked into Sears. And I think he was there for like 20 minutes and no one even came and greeted him and this, that, and the next.
Sears is the worst.
But, you know what I mean? But I think like it makes it difficult. So that's exactly what I'm saying. Like with sometimes with these bigger businesses, you can't micromanage people. And if you're not compensating people, and sometimes people don't even really want to be compensated well, they just want to know they appreciate it. Yeah. But to bring this back in, like when you have a small business that, something that you start in your own little space, you create the culture. and you can make. Like, I love the one with the husband and wife that did the cheese.
Can you go over the 11 so that they know what the?
Oh yeah. So I'm at 12. So I'm gonna go from 12 to 1. Yeah. So we have the cheese makers.
Cheese makers at home?
They bought this farm.
They end up buying
it. It's a farm. Okay, no, that makes. Okay,
but she was in like corporate America, and they were on their honeymoon.
Right.
And it was kind of a cute story.
Before I read it, I thought real quick, I'm like, ooh, cheese is someone's house.
Oh my God, I would be so fat if I made cheese. Oh my God.
My mom does make awesome mozzarella.
I don't even think it would make it to market. I'd be like, cheese.
No, a lot of the businesses are people from home, but it's like smaller businesses.
Yeah.
So yeah, they named it Caputo Brothers after their sons. So those are cheese makers. This guy, Matthew Cheng, he did eatcoupons.com.
Which I went to that site and it looked so confusing.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place.
I was like, oh, it was just too much content. Like I was like,
I think, and my wife would love this one. The lady that does the weeknight meal plans, and because we do foster care, we run the business, we do so many other things. Sometimes she's like, man, I just need something to cook, and I have to put on to this one.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few other good ones in here. Like, I don't,
Yeah, it's on Inc. We'll post up the article on our Facebook page, facebook.com/EnCharge Show. We'll post it up. You guys can go through all 11 of them. But I mean, I started off as a home business too. I mean, when you start a business, you got to think of costs. You got to think of revenue, how much you're going to make, and how much you got to spend to start making money. And I kind of took the easy way out, or not easy way, but financially thinking baby steps. Start from home. It's just at the time it was a one-man operation. I didn't need to get an office space. I didn't need. I did meetings at like their businesses, or I went to coffee houses. I went to restaurants and did lunch meetings. So there's ways to get around. Don't just be discouraged of having a home business. Home business is nothing to be frowned upon at all. It's just a good way to think, to save money. And it took me 2 years. It didn't take me 2 years. I waited 2 years to actually get into an office, just because at that time I needed to hire interns and get more people involved, and I didn't want them coming to my house.
You don't want a lot of interns in your house.
No, especially since my office was in the basement.
Yeah, no. It's a little weird.
But I'm trying to find, what's the guy's name again?
Shel Horowitz.
Yeah, his green marketing
He's
consultants.
The first one.
Yeah, he was #1.
And actually, oddly enough, Shel did my resume for me in 2003 before I went to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I worked there.
He's been around for a little while, like being Shel.
Yeah, I think it started in '86. In the '80s, he started a home business.
81.
81.
Yeah. Ooh, I was just not even really born yet.
I was not even a sparkle in my parents' eye yet. But yeah, Shel, congratulations for getting featured in Inc. And,
that's big.
Yeah.
Go Shel.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
I like his name is Shel.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bahamas, so I think Shel, and I think of
Well, speaking of Bahamas, this is actually a great segue into our Entrepreneur of the Week. It's a little controversial-ish, I guess. Some of us like it, some of us don't.
Yeah.
But this guy named Howard Livingston was huge. He CEO of this big engine manufacturing company based in Chicago, and decided he wanted to retire and decided he wanted to move to Key West. Nothing wrong. Old people go to Florida when they retire, but he decided to.
What? He's only like 55 though.
That's old. Just kidding. I'm totally just kidding. But
it's not that old.
He retired, but gave everything to Salvation Army. Like, got rid of his suits, got rid of everything, bought all like beach shirts, and then moved to Key West and started a band. I know you have your thing about this, but I think it's great because it shows, like, no matter how, you can do multiple things in one lifetime, Like, he built a successful company, great. He now wanted to take off his shoes and put on flip-flops and just relax the rest of his life and just do a different living. And that's what he's done, and, I commend him for that.
Excuse me. What I liked about it is that, and it kind of proves once you know how to make money, you can always make money. So he was obviously successful, like you said, in business. But then when he created his little band or whatever and doing his thing, he's enjoying the music. But what he was able to do was raise money for a charity. The record was $10,000, and he said last year they raised $55,000 for these kids of the KOA Care Camp. It says a program that sends seriously ill children on week-long camping trips, which is cool. So I kind of, even though you know, that's not how he's making his money obviously anymore, but he understands how to make money. So no matter what he does, he can make money. And that's the thing. Even being an entrepreneur, people think, okay, I have a great product now, people are gonna buy it. But if you don't understand how to make money or how, you know, different streams of revenue are, you probably won't ever make money with your business. And you just have to understand that. And what else I liked about it is, you know, he's doing what he wants to do. Like you know, he just wants to sing and, you know, wear flip flops. But because it makes me think, like, what are we gonna do when we're all done running our, you know, empires or whatever? You know, I could picture myself on a yacht just drinking pina coladas or something. That'd be
with
good.
Richard Branson.
With Richard Branson. Not the XXX version, the real guy.
I don't know. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, but it's like too Jimmy Buffett for me. I mean, like all these older guys, he's like 55, 60, retired, 70s. I mean, I don't even know how many stories Key West must have about guys move down there, give away. I mean, the Salvation. We should all go down to the Salvation. I should go down there and buy clothes for Jackson and Connor because I think they're like. Wear. I bet the Salvation Army is like the best one in the whole country.
He's probably got like Versace suits.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Canali and Brioni and like all these awesome Italian like Cucinelli suits.
So we're flying to Chicago.
Yeah, let's fly down to Key West and just go shopping at the Salvation Army because so many guys go down there and they're like Jimmy Buffett, Margaritaville, like the whole like lifestyle. It's like,
you know what, though?
Man.
Maybe when I'm 50, I'm gonna move down to Florida and I'm gonna start a rap group. You know, because these guys always want
drive A1A.
They always wanted to be. I know. Then we can start selling the Penn stinky cakes.
There you go. Oh my God, what could be a name for like the elder stinky cake?
Nah, but you gotta understand, this guy, he probably all his life wanted to be in a band, you know. So now that he's older and you know he's done doing what he wanted to do in the corporate world, he just wants to chill out. I mean,
you know, people go through phases. Like they want to do things differently. You only get one life. Do whatever you want to do. You owned a really successful business. Awesome. He did well. He made money. I mean, if he wasn't making money and he had all this money that he can just all of a sudden get up and go to Florida. I mean,
exactly.
You know, and then who knows what happened when he left the company? Maybe, you know, I know it's not relevant anymore, but pension plans are still there with a lot of the older generation. You know, so he probably had a pension plan set up. So the music might just be a hobby, and he's probably set for life with what he was doing before.
Oh yeah, he's not trying to make any money down in Key West.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a permanent vacation. Good for him.
Fat
he's
Joe.
living the life fandango, man.
I think it was at the Fat Joe big pun that said, gangsters don't die, they move to Miami. Well, old guys don't die, they move to Florida. And
Key West, man.
Start
totally.
Bands. That's what it is.
Totally.
I had to throw a little hip hop thing in there.
Yeah, it's all right. You know, it's expected.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right.
I slam Buffett.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett and who would have thought we would have talked about Jimmy Buffett, Richard Branson, and
Big Pun.
Big Pun all in one episode. Look at that.
Tanning of America.
Yeah.
There you go. Another interesting episode.
It's called a tanning moment. Steve Stout, it's a great book. You gotta read it.
Oh, we should have tanning lights in here.
I'm all set with that. Thanks. All right, guys.
I could have
join
like
us.
a shield like this.
Oh, real quick. I want to talk about egos in business before we end.
That's right.
Because I'm a huge Beats by Dr. Dre fan. And he makes these great headphones. He teamed up with Monster Cable, and I just found out next year he won't be renewing his contract with them. And I was like, what? Why? These headphones are great. Everyone loves them. But the problem is they're having a dispute over who made the brand popular. Was it Dr. Dre? Was it Monster? And at the end of the day, man, you know, when you have a great business, you have to check your ego at the door. I mean, you know, who cares?
They're both having an ego problem, not one or the other. They
exactly.
Both are.
So, I mean, we'll just wait to see how that unfolds. But, you know, right now, just grab your Beats by Dre. They're great headphones, man. I use them as my think tank. Like when I need to zone out and design some cakes or whatever, and I just need to listen to music. I don't want to hear my kids.
You don't even have to listen to music to have them on. Like, it just clears
this
all
is true.
Noise.
I listen to my audiobooks with it. There's a lot I do with it. But, I mean, they're really great headphones, and I just hate to see a great product go away over, well, I made it popular. But, you know, you both made it popular. I know it's good quality because Dre is endorsing it, and I know it's great quality because Monster's making it. So just make sure we check our egos when we have great brands, and even if we don't, you know, because it could ruin any company.
While you check your egos, check us out on Facebook, too. Gotta throw that in there, come on.
Yeah.
Facebook.com/EnCharge Show. We'll post up all the articles we talked about today. Also on Twitter @EnCharge Show. Tweet us, just let us know what you think about the show. Anything you want us to add, take out. We're not
Comments,
going
feedback.
anywhere, so we just want feedback.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, thanks, guys. Bye.